Hey guys, honestly, I just kind of want to get back to work and other things. RPG a day 28. Scariest game you've played. I haven't done a lot of horror. I like horror movies and not slashers and not jump scares. I like horror video games, not jumpers, not slash scares, jump scares and slashers. Um, the Ruins is one of my favorite horror movies in the last decade or so. Exorcist 3, and Alien to a degree are some of my absolute favorites all time. If Nightmare on Elm Street had stayed less cheesy, the original one would have been pretty good too. And a few like mechanics and rules in the game in the movie that are like, eh. Um, but the scariest experience in a game would either be um, would have to be, I mentioned it before, the Unknown Armies module, or not module, but one shot we had at a convention where I was literally afraid to tell other players they did a really good job role playing, because their characters had done horrible things to my character pre-game setup. Like, the players themselves weren't responsible for that choice, and but they still, knowing that was the history of the characters, they played them really well and scared the crap out of me. Scariest game itself, I would almost have to say, sorry, of the ones I've played, it's probably Rollmaster, because your character can die at any moment, and you have to know that mechanically, right? Because otherwise you might mistake it for some other high fantasy, swords and sorcery romp, and the next thing you know, you've made a bad tactical decision, and or the enemy rolled really, really, really well, and you are dead. So, those would probably be the scariest, like, module, like, session game and game engine. I haven't gotten Call of Cthulhu to the table. I don't really know how scary Alien RPG would really truly be. While Alien, as I said earlier, was like an amazing classic scary movie, I don't see that the game could necessarily do that without trying to basically replay Alien, and I don't know how that could really be scary. Here's a game that I've always wanted to try that I haven't, but Hunter the Reckoning. Like, I bet you could play that as a pretty good horror movie, since the storyteller is encouraged to throw out all the standard rules for creatures, so that you could replicate the idea of the tension and the learning and the discovery and the tension and the fear. So that might be up there if I'd played it, but it's hard to say that any game. When you say game, I usually think systems are scary, and I don't know how you would do that. Again, like the last video, you got some ideas? Please chime in. I'd love to hear it. Because I just don't know exactly what that would look like and how that would be later.